SheThatExists with SheThatExists Her Story channel. And it's really important not to be unequally yoked. And I've been reviewing the tapes and playing back the last 20 years of my life. And I want to speak to those who know their maker, their creator, and let them know not to be deceived. Because my former husband, he was a deceiver. And they're also known as Decepticons, right? And my former husband, my daughter's dad, he deceived me. I'm pretty sure that he knew that I was a believer and that I knew Creator and that my background was in faith, and that I knew the scriptures, and that I knew and taught and read the Bible. However, I want to say I was deceived, and I have no shame in admitting that, because my testimony hopefully will save other innocent men and other innocent women and other innocent children from these Decepticons out there. And I didn't know anything about the brotherhoods. I didn't know anything about Satanism. I didn't know anything about Luciferianism. I didn't know anything about Baal. I didn't know anything about Baphomet. I knew nothing about that at the time. Years later, I can see now how deceptive he was. And now I see how he is associated with people who are associated with Satanism, Baphomet worship, Baal worship, Luciferianism, Satanism. And I can look back and I could feel and I could sense that energy and those spirits, because he was always in a chaotic place. He never had any peace. And then he was hiding drugs and alcohol, and I didn't even know it. And it wasn't even until many years after our divorce that I learned that he was a drug addict, because apparently they hide it really well. And there were times where I saw many years after our divorce where I said, oh my gosh, he is possessed. Like literally, almost, just psychotic and insane. And then I realized, he was just pretending and being fake. So all the different times that we went to visit different churches, went to marriage counseling with different Christian organizations, went to visit different churches. He even got baptized in a Pentecostal church after we were married, when our daughter was young. And now, I wonder, was that real for him? Or was it just pretend? And then years later, after our divorce, someone came to me and told me that my ex-husband was secretly gay. And I was like, well, I didn't know that. So I was finding out secretly gay, drug addict. And somebody had to teach me, like how his behaviors were all of that of drug addict behavior. And then I found out, like, from his former girlfriend's new boyfriend, it's like through the grapevine, but that he's on meth and a psychopath. And, I share this because it's my testimony. It's my testimony in Yahushua HaMashiach, that when the word says not to be unequally yoked with unbelievers, we really need to take that seriously. And I can look back and, say, that I was deceived, However, I didn't have the knowledge that I have today. So that's why I want to put that knowledge out there, because our daughter, had to go through, I guess, the confusion of me being a believer and having a relationship with Creator Almighty Yah, and then her dad being a part of a Baal, Lucifer, Baphomet, Satanist, like brotherhood, Luciferian type brotherhood. And so she had to go through all of that confusion. And I remember, like, when she turned 11 years old. All right, it's back. So really get to know somebody. I fell for his looks. We were younger then, and I fell for his looks. I fell for his appearance, outer appearance. And I guess he did a good job. A good job lying to me, manipulating me, deceiving me. However, I didn't know that level of darkness and that level of depravity existed. And a lot of these people are adulterating children. They're adulterating teenagers. And that's a blasphemous sin, to adulterate your own children and to turn them against Creator. It just is. The scripture says that it's better for someone to be tied around the neck with a millstone around their neck and drop to the bottom of the ocean than someone who turns the children, against Creator Almighty. So I wanted to share that because I think, my gosh, how confused my daughter must be. And one of the last times I talked to her, she did tell me that she is confused. And her dad hides from me today. He's just afraid to talk to me. He's terrified of me. And it's because of his guilt. It's because of his shame. It's because he knows that he is and has been deceptive. So I just want to encourage anybody to make sure that you really know somebody before you decide to create life with them. Because I did not know I was being deceived, and I did not know that I was being frauded. And I think that's really important to share my testimony when it comes to that, because I want to be able to help other people, not to have to walk in that situation. And it's important to listen to somebody who's had certain experiences and have the wisdom to gain from it. And I have that wisdom. So please, when you get to meet somebody or get to know somebody or date somebody, don't just fall for their looks and their outer appearance or their personality or a false appearance, of any way. But really get into the heart of the matter and see them for who they are. Back then, we didn't know anything about childhood trauma. We didn't know anything about PTSD. We didn't know anything about child post-traumatic stress disorder or trauma, or if people had been abused as a child, how it affected them, as they got older. And if I would have knew everything that I knew today about that, I probably would have been able to see the signs, and I would have been able to spot things better, and I would have been able to help myself better in that way. The churches weren't even teaching anything about this. So I want to put that message and this message out there and share more of my testimony in that way, because if it just helps one person, one individual, one soul, then that's important to me. So I just wanted to put that out there. And this is She That Exists with She That Exists, her story channel. And right now I'm doing 50% off on my life coaching services. I'm feeling very generous right now. I've got some cool new things going on in life right now, and been exploring and adventuring and to new territory and new things that I'm really excited about. And so I thought it'd be really important and a good gift to offer my life coaching services at 50% off right now. And that's going to last probably until July 6th. And then in August, I'll probably end up raising my rates. So take advantage of that right now and send an email to SheThatExists@gmail.com to book a life coaching session. And let's see, anything else? No, this is it for now. I bought this awesome like watermelon bubbly water, and then some blueberry pomegranate bubbly water, and coconut pineapple bubbly water. So I'm excited to get in the house. It's like 100 degrees or more in Texas right now, or it feels like 115 degrees. So I'm excited to just get in the house, cool off, relax, and be excited about more opportunities on the horizon, and what life brings. And so yeah, this is She That Exists with She That Exists Her Story channel. And of course, as always, I'll be back